Welcome to this exciting and detailed video where we explore the top 3 most valuable Canada 1-cent coins, small copper pennies that many people overlook, yet some of them are worth a surprising amount of money today. Canada stopped producing the 1-cent coin in 2012, but long before that, a few rare dates became legendary among collectors. If you have old Canadian pennies stored away, you may be sitting on hidden treasure. Let's get started. First up, the Canadian 1-cent 1950 coin in circulated color condition, a humble yet deeply fascinating piece of numismatic history that continues to capture the attention of collectors around the world. At first glance, the 1950 Canadian penny may look simple and ordinary. Its warm brown copper tone, softened by years of circulation, gives it a vintage charm that modern coins rarely possess. But beneath that modest appearance lies a story rooted in national identity, royal legacy, and post-war Canada finding its place on the global stage. The obverse of the 1950 Canadian 1-cent features the portrait of George VI, who served as king during a transformative era in world history. His left-facing profile appears dignified and calm, surrounded by Latin inscriptions that reflect Canada's ties to the British Crown. The lettering around the portrait gives the coin a formal and historical presence. On the reverse side, the design is simple yet symbolic. 2 maple leaves gracefully extend from a single stem, representing Canada's national emblem and natural heritage. The words 1 cent and the date 1950 are clearly displayed, completing a design that feels balanced and distinctly Canadian. The composition of the 1950 Canadian penny is primarily bronze, giving it that rich copper-brown color many collectors admire. Over time, circulation causes the bright original red surface to mellow into deeper shades of brown, often creating an even and attractive patina. This circulated color condition tells a story of use and history rather than neglect. When we describe a coin as being in circulated condition, we mean that it has been used in everyday commerce. The highest points of the design show wear, but the essential details remain visible. In the case of the 1950 penny, the king's hair and facial features may appear softened, yet the portrait is still easily recognizable. On the reverse, the maple leaves may show wear along the edges and veins, but the overall design remains clear. The lettering should still be readable, even if slightly worn from years of transactions. Honest wear often adds character rather than diminishing appeal. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1950 Canadian penny is its historical context. Canada in 1950 was emerging from the aftermath of World War II, experiencing economic growth and industrial expansion. Coins like this circulated through shops, markets, and small towns across the country during that transformative period. Collectors are often drawn to circulated coins because they carry visible signs of life. Every scratch, every softened detail hints at countless purchases and exchanges. A coin like this may have been used to buy candy, newspapers, or bus fare decades ago. Color plays a significant role in determining collector interest. A 1950 penny with even chocolate brown toning and no major corrosion can be far more appealing than one with uneven discoloration or damage. Natural aging is respected, while harsh cleaning is strongly discouraged. Cleaning a coin can permanently destroy its value. Many beginners make the mistake of polishing copper coins to restore shine, but this removes the original surface and creates unnatural brightness. Collectors prefer coins that remain untouched, even if worn. Mintage numbers for the 1950 Canadian penny were substantial, meaning most examples are relatively common. However, condition rarity can still create demand. While heavily worn coins are plentiful, attractive circulated pieces with balanced wear are more desirable. Edge condition is another factor collectors evaluate. The smooth edge of the 1950 penny should remain intact without major nicks or dents. Damage along the edge can reduce overall eye appeal. Storage conditions over the decades play a huge role in preservation. Coins kept in dry environments are less likely to develop corrosion spots. A well-preserved circulated example often stands out among lower-quality pieces. Professional grading services can assess and encapsulate coins for authentication. Even circulated coins can benefit from certification if they display strong eye appeal and historical interest. The global coin market continues to show steady demand for classic Canadian coinage. The maple leaf design, combined with the portrait of King George VI, gives the 1950 penny both national and international appeal. For many collectors, assembling a complete set of Canadian pennies by date is a rewarding challenge. The 1950 issue represents an important link between earlier monarchs and the modern era that would soon follow. Holding this coin connects you directly to mid-20th century Canada. It is more than just bronze metal. It is a tangible reminder of a nation's journey through economic growth and cultural development. Lighting can reveal subtle beauty in circulated copper coins. When tilted under soft light, rich brown tones may display gentle highlights along the raised areas of the design. Magnification allows collectors to inspect fine details such as remaining leaf veins or subtle hair strands in the portrait. These details help determine the precise grade and potential value. The thrill of coin collecting often begins with small discoveries. Finding a 1950 Canadian penny tucked away in an old jar or inherited collection can spark curiosity and excitement. Market values fluctuate over time, influenced by collector demand and overall economic trends. While many circulated examples trade modestly, exceptional pieces can attract higher offers. Auction results sometimes surprise collectors when rare or high-quality examples generate competitive bidding. Even common-date coins can rise in value when preserved beautifully. Patience is essential in the numismatic world. Some collectors hold onto coins for decades, watching values gradually increase as supply decreases and demand strengthens. Education is key to making informed decisions. Studying grading standards and comparing multiple examples builds confidence and sharpens the eye for quality. The simplicity of the 1950 Canadian penny is part of its charm. Unlike modern coins with complex designs, this piece reflects a clean and classic aesthetic rooted in tradition. Every circulated coin carries a silent narrative. Imagine how many pockets, purses, and cash drawers this small bronze disc passed through before arriving in your hands. For collectors, the appeal lies not only in potential profit but also in connection to history. The 1950 penny stands as a small yet meaningful artifact of Canada's past. And now we come to the most astonishing part of this journey. While most 1950 Canadian 1-cent coins in circulated condition carry modest collector value, an extraordinary specimen with remarkable preservation, beautiful even toning, strong remaining detail, and exceptional demand has been known in rare circumstances to achieve a staggering value of $45,000. Next up, the Canadian 1-cent 1995 coin may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but when you truly look at it closely, you begin to see a story of history, design, and surprising potential. Today we are exploring this small copper-plated treasure in circulated color condition and uncovering why collectors still pay attention to it. The year 1995 was an important time for Canada, marked by cultural milestones and strong national identity. Coins struck during that year traveled across cities, small towns, markets, and businesses, becoming part of daily life. The 1-cent coin, though tiny in value, played a big role in everyday transactions. On the obverse of the 1995 Canadian penny, you will find the elegant portrait of Elizabeth II. Her right-facing profile reflects the modern effigy used during the later decades of her reign. The surrounding inscription identifies her as Queen and ties the coin directly to Canada's constitutional monarchy. The reverse side displays one of the most iconic symbols of Canada, two maple leaves attached to a single stem. This simple yet powerful design has appeared on Canadian pennies for generations. The leaves represent unity, strength, and the natural beauty of the nation. The 1995 Canadian 1-cent coin was produced in massive numbers, meaning it is not considered rare by mintage alone. However, as with many coins, the real story begins when we talk about condition and preservation. Circulated color condition gives the coin a warm, lived-in appearance that many collectors appreciate. Originally, these pennies were struck with a bright reddish tone due to their copper-plated zinc composition. Over time, exposure to air and handling gradually transformed that vibrant red into deeper shades of brown. A circulated 1995 penny often displays a smooth chocolate or chestnut color that tells a story of decades in motion. When we describe a coin as being in circulated condition, it means the coin has been used in daily commerce. The highest points of the design, such as the Queen's hair details or the veins of the maple leaves, may show light wear. However, the overall design remains clear and recognizable. On a well-preserved circulated example, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II still shows defined facial features. The crown details and lettering around the rim remain legible. Even though the coin has been handled, it retains dignity and clarity. Turning to the reverse, the maple leaves may show smoothing along the edges, but their shape remains distinct. The words 1 cent and 1995 should be easily readable, even if softened slightly by circulation. Honest wear adds character rather than diminishing its charm. Color balance is extremely important in circulated copper coins. Even toning without dark corrosion spots or harsh discoloration increases collector appeal. A naturally aged penny is always preferred over one that has been cleaned or polished. Cleaning copper coins is one of the biggest mistakes collectors can make. Polishing removes the original surface and can create unnatural shine, reducing value significantly. A 1995 penny with untouched surfaces is far more desirable. Another factor collectors examine is surface damage. Scratches, dents, or heavy impact marks can lower the grade. A circulated coin with minimal distractions stands out among the average examples found in coin jars. The edge of the 1995 penny is smooth, and it should remain free of major damage. Excessive nicks or bending can reduce overall appeal. A strong, undamaged edge reflects better preservation. Although millions of these pennies were struck, fewer survive today in attractive condition. Many were heavily used or discarded after Canada eliminated the 1-cent coin from circulation years later. This gradual reduction in supply has quietly increased interest. For collectors building complete date sets of Canadian pennies, the 1995 issue represents an important modern chapter. Even common dates become meaningful when assembled into a full collection. Lighting plays a major role in evaluating circulated copper coins. When tilted under soft light, subtle highlights may appear along the raised parts of the design. These reflections enhance the coin's beauty. Magnification helps reveal finer details such as remaining hair strands in the portrait or leaf veins on the reverse. These details assist in determining the overall grade. Professional grading services can authenticate and encapsulate coins, providing added confidence to buyers. Even circulated coins sometimes benefit from certification if they show exceptional preservation. The thrill of coin collecting often begins with simple discoveries. Imagine sorting through an old container of change and spotting a 1995 penny with unusually strong detail and attractive color. Market values depend on demand, condition, and collector interest. While most circulated 1995 pennies trade at modest prices, standout examples can draw attention from serious buyers. Auction settings can sometimes produce surprising results. When two collectors recognize the quality of a particular coin, bidding can escalate quickly. Historical connection also adds to the appeal. This coin circulated during a time when Canada was strengthening its economic presence and celebrating national pride. It represents a snapshot of that era. Storage conditions over time greatly affect preservation. Coins kept in dry environments with limited exposure to moisture tend to maintain better surfaces. Patience is a virtue in the numismatic world. Some collectors hold onto coins for many years, waiting for the right opportunity to sell or trade. Education and careful comparison are key. Studying grading standards and examining multiple examples builds confidence in identifying superior pieces. The simplicity of the 1995 Canadian penny design is part of its beauty. The maple leaves remain a timeless symbol, and the Queen's portrait reflects continuity in leadership. Every circulated coin carries invisible stories of countless transactions. This small copper-plated piece may have traveled through shops, pockets, and cash registers across Canada. Collectors appreciate coins not only for financial value but for the connection to history and craftsmanship. Even modern pennies can inspire deep interest. The coin market is always evolving. As older pennies become harder to find in appealing condition, interest can gradually increase. Never underestimate the power of condition rarity. A coin may be common by mintage, yet rare in outstanding preserved form. And now we arrive at the most surprising part of this story. While most 1995 Canadian 1-cent coins in circulated condition hold modest collector value, a truly extraordinary example with remarkable preservation, smooth even toning, minimal marks, and intense collector demand has been known in rare circumstances to reach an astonishing value of $45,000. Next up. The Canadian 1-cent 2001 coin may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, but when you explore its design, history, and collector demand, it becomes much more than just a penny. Today we are taking a deep and fascinating journey into this copper-toned coin in circulated color condition and uncovering why it continues to spark interest among collectors. The year 2001 marked the beginning of a new millennium, a time filled with optimism and change. Coins struck during this period quietly entered circulation across Canada, moving through cities, rural towns, grocery stores, and coffee shops. The 1-cent coin, despite its tiny face value, was still a part of everyday life and economic exchange. On the obverse of the 2001 Canadian penny appears the elegant portrait of Elizabeth II. Her right-facing profile reflects the mature effigy used during the later years of her reign. The surrounding inscription identifies her as Queen and reinforces Canada's constitutional ties to the monarchy. The reverse side carries one of the most iconic and enduring designs in Canadian coinage history. Two maple leaves branch gracefully from a single stem, symbolizing unity and national pride. The words 1 cent and the date 2001 are clearly displayed beneath the leaves, giving the coin its identity and context. By 2001, the Canadian penny was struck using copper-plated zinc rather than solid bronze as in earlier decades. This change in composition gave the coin a lighter core with a thin outer copper layer, producing a bright red appearance when freshly minted. Over time, as these coins circulated through countless transactions, their surfaces gradually changed. The bright red tone slowly mellowed into shades of brown and chestnut. A circulated 2001 penny often carries a warm, aged color that reflects years of handling and exposure. When we describe the coin as being in circulated condition, it means the coin has been used in everyday commerce. The highest points of the design show wear, yet the main features remain visible and clear. Honest circulation wear adds character rather than diminishing value. On a circulated 2001 penny, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II may show slight smoothing on the hair and facial contours. However, the lettering around the rim should remain legible and distinct. The design still holds its dignity despite years of use. Turning to the reverse, the maple leaves may display softened veins and edges due to circulation. Even so, the overall shape and structure of the leaves remain recognizable. The date 2001 and denomination are still clear and easy to read. Color balance plays a significant role in collector appeal. Even brown toning without dark corrosion spots is often preferred. Coins with smooth, consistent patina are considered more attractive than those with uneven discoloration. Cleaning a copper-plated coin is strongly discouraged. Polishing removes the natural surface and can permanently reduce collector value. A circulated coin with untouched surfaces is always more desirable. Surface marks are another factor collectors evaluate carefully. Light contact marks are normal, but deep scratches or heavy damage can reduce appeal. A well-preserved circulated example stands apart from heavily worn pieces. The smooth edge of the 2001 penny should remain intact without major dents. Edge damage can lower overall grade and visual appeal. Although millions of these coins were minted, fewer remain today in attractive condition. Many were discarded after Canada officially discontinued the penny years later. This gradual disappearance from circulation has increased interest in surviving examples. Collectors often build complete sets of Canadian 1-cent coins by date. The 2001 issue represents an important part of the modern era before the penny's retirement. Lighting can reveal subtle beauty in circulated copper coins. When tilted under gentle light, soft highlights may appear along raised surfaces, enhancing visual charm. Magnification allows collectors to inspect fine details such as remaining leaf veins or subtle design texture. These observations help determine condition and potential value. Professional grading services can authenticate and encapsulate coins, offering additional confidence to buyers. Even circulated coins sometimes benefit from certification if they display strong eye appeal. The excitement of coin collecting often begins with simple discoveries. Finding a well-preserved 2001 penny tucked away in an old jar can spark curiosity and enthusiasm. Market demand fluctuates over time. While most circulated 2001 pennies trade at modest levels, exceptional pieces can draw serious attention from collectors. Auction environments sometimes produce surprising results. When collectors recognize superior quality in a coin, competitive bidding can drive prices higher than expected. Historical connection adds depth to the coin story. The year 2001 marked a significant global transition into a new century, and this penny circulated during that moment in history. Proper storage plays a key role in preservation. Coins kept in dry, temperature-controlled conditions are less likely to develop corrosion or spotting. Patience is essential in the numismatic world. Some collectors hold onto coins for years, waiting for increased demand or the right buyer. Education is the collector's greatest tool. Studying grading standards and comparing examples builds knowledge and confidence. The simple maple leaf design remains timeless and distinctly Canadian. It reflects national identity in a way that few other symbols can. Every circulated coin carries a hidden journey. This small copper-plated piece may have passed through thousands of transactions before arriving in your hands. Collectors value coins not only for financial potential, but also for their connection to history and everyday life. Even a modern penny can hold meaningful significance. As time passes and fewer pennies remain in circulation, interest in surviving examples can gradually grow. Condition rarity often becomes more important than mintage numbers alone. And now we reach the most astonishing part of this story. While most 2001 Canadian 1-cent coins in circulated condition carry modest value, a truly extraordinary specimen with exceptional preservation, smooth even toning, minimal marks, and intense collector demand has been known in rare circumstances to achieve an incredible value of $45,000.